Hey, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real 100%, where we are here to talk about life. We hope you are having a fantastic day. We are so glad you came to join in our conversation today. Let's go ahead and jump in.
Hey, y'all. I'm still learning this thing on how this thing works. 'Cause I was supposed to be on stage a long time ago, but I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get my timing right. But anywho, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real, where we talk about real things, y'all, like on point real things. So, not to get into the little spiel because you just heard it in the intro, right? So, as you can see, as my topic is today at the bottom, do you care? And the subtopic is, do you care about people or do you just care about your numbers? So y'all know I'm transparent. I'll do pop-ups. I don't really care. If you know my story, you know my story already, right? And if you don't know anything else about me, one thing that you will learn about me is I don't like change when it comes down to certain things in life, right? And especially when it comes down to my health and comes down to my body. So y'all know in my story that I've been in, HIV's been living with me for the last 16 years, right? And um I've been, it took me, you know, it took me like 14 of those years to get out of the ashamed mode, and don't mind sharing the testimony. But within those 16 years of my being, things change and I don't like it. And so there were so many times where I had to change doctors. Every time I changed doctors, I changed medications. Every time I changed medications, there were new side effects. Every time I had new side effects, they added more stuff to me. This is a lot of changes, right? And I've probably been through maybe 7 or 8 doctors at this point, and God knows how many nurses, right? So when I was on pills, I was like, okay, I don't really have to deal with nurses. The only nurses I have to deal with is, them taking my vital signs. I don't got to get to know them. They don't know how to know my body. They don't have to know nothing, right? Um, but now that I'm on this different medication, which is Cabenuva, and if you know about it, you've seen the commercials, the once a month or every twice a month thing after you get the process, whatever. This particular one, you have to get to know your nurse, right? Lord, no shade to none of my nurses. I care about them lots, right? But they notice I don't like change. My doctor, first of all, knows. Listen, when you try to bring somebody new up in this building that's finna have to be with me, I'm finna break down. It's no questions asked. Like, I'm good with the shenanigans, you know what I'm talking about? And like, they end up switching up with me again yesterday. So I was like, what the heck? Like, nobody warned me. Like, this one lady, and it was no harm to her. I had to apologize. I don't know how many times. We'll get to that. But when she opened the door and called my name, I looked at her for a minute. My sister was there to witness this. I, I looked at her and was like, what am I doing? I don't see the nurse that I'm usually seeing, the big, the giddy nurse that I'm so used to seeing. I got used to seeing within the last couple, months or whatever, maybe a year or so. I don't see her at the door. I'm looking at the woman like, who are you? Right? So she was like, come on, you got it. I'm not 3, okay? I'm not 4, I'm not 2, I'm not none of that. To where you need to just like pump me to come. I just need to know what you here for. Like, why you calling my name? Like, you're not my nurse. I'm going through it, okay? I'm going through. And when I walked back there and I was like, okay, and she started typing my name and all this other stuff, I'm saying, ma'am, what's going on? Because my blood pressure going high, my head starting to spin, body starting to shake. Like, I had to lean up against the little bed just to keep myself sturdy, right? And she was like, it's okay, everything's fine. I'm the new. And it just was like, wah, 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 wah after that. Because at this point, I already told them after this particular nurse that I just had, I was done. Y'all, Health and Human Services was about to come for me. I'm good with the shenanigans, right? And so I'm like, I'm going through this. I'm going through, baby. I start crying. I just start shaking. Blood pressure just sky high. Anxiety out the rooftop. Like it was just a lot going on. So I'm like, okay. So she walks out. She was like, okay, take deep breathers. I don't think I was gonna react like that. I was like, oh my god, what the heck is happening? Yeah, So she left out. She was like, okay, take a breather. And I'm talking to my sister, like, what is, huh? Huh? Please help me understand. So I'm looking and talking to my sister. So the supervisor comes in. And she was like, quite unfortunately, this thing's about to change. This person is moving to a different position and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there like, I know the story. Like, it's not like the nurse didn't tell me that she, moving, but to my concern, she was going to be here for me and a couple other people, because she's in the same building, all this other stuff. That's what I understood. I was good, like, hey, as long as we got communication. Obviously, some miscommunication went around. So anyway, a lot of change happened yesterday, and I went through a lot of stuff. But the feedback I want to give to not just the healthcare people, but to the people who just like advertising their business, trying to recruit and all that stuff. Do you care about the actual person when you're trying to recruit them, or when you're trying to take care of them or whatever? Do you care about the people, or do you just care about the numbers that you get? Because the more numbers you get, the more money you get, the more um sightings you get on the website or whatever, whatever stars you get, whatever you get, the reviews, all that. Do you care about all of those? Like the subscriptions, thumbs up, likes, subscribes? Is that what all you care about? And even with the healthcare, do you care about your patients? The real estate or whatever, when you have clients, lawyers, whatever you are, do you care about the person, or do you just care about the numbers? Do you just care about money? What am I missing? Because like when you look at on the other, when you put your foot in the other person's steps, like if you're on my side and you're a nurse, I need you to see it from my side. Don't just be like, oh, well, you'll be fine, you'll be all right, blah blah. No, I have to get to know somebody all over again. I have to do these tests all over again. I gotta do all this over again. I was fine. I was doing good. You know what I'm talking about? Until you made a shift in my life. Like, no. I realized now, after I'm in the 16 years in this thing, I'm really starting to see how people just look at you as a patient. They look at you as a client. They don't look at you as a person. You're just a number. And we have to change that. Like, I don't care if you're in business. But this is, for me, it's about my health and people. I'm gonna have to learn how to change, and I don't mind that. But at the same time, consider me. Nothing about consider the things that I have to go through to make these changes, to get to know these people all over again. Consider me and my thoughts and my emotions. Because if you know your patients, you know their changes, you know their ticks, you know their buttons, you know everything about them. And then you turn around, switch, and you have to start all over again, over and over and over and over and over again. Not to put a button, not to push anything against what you're doing. You want to grow, you quit, whatever. Consider the person that you dealt with for so long. I'm just saying. But as for you, if you're a business person, or if you're a recruiter, or if you're anything, are you just really thinking about the numbers? Are you thinking about your money? Are you thinking about any of that? Like, because if you're thinking about the person, you're like, okay, well, let me get to know this person. Because even when, listen, so I was on, I, became part of a group, right? And I'm thinking this is going to be a fantastic group. And like, the first conversation I have with you was like, okay, let me get to know you. Cool, I'm like, hey, blah, 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 blah. But all of a sudden you pop up, oh, do you want to be a part of the program? This is what the program is about. This is how much it's gonna be, blah, blah, blah. No, you let me enjoy the group first. Let me get the feeling of all this stuff first. Like, so I guess my question is, do you care? Do you care about the other side of the business? Do you care about the client as a person? Do you see the person, or do you see a big old dollar bill? Because I already know in the health field, baby, it's a dollar bill. Ain't no person. Ain't no person. Because everybody's trying to get paid. Everybody's trying to get a move of the pharmaceutical life. You know the pharmaceutical life ain't going nowhere, right? So I'm just saying, do you care about the person? Is my question. Sorry, I'm logging back in. I'm gonna log out this video, but I just wanted to know what is you as a business person? What do you see? You just see your numbers. If you're in the health field, do you see the client? Because I was talking to my sister and how things that she talk about, and I'm like, do they even care? Do they care? So like these things really do happen. Like I don't know if you have a health issue or if you're a client of somebody's or whatever. How do you feel about that? Like how does that make you feel when they're just asking you questions about, how much can you pay, or let me get to, things just shift on you without even considering you. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and me overthinking things. Because I'm a person who don't like change. I don't like change. But at the same time, in life, things change. But please just communicate with me and just consider how I feel about the change, right? And let us talk about what we can do to make me comfortable in a situation. To my like, don't just drop me like a child. Like, where'd I do that? Where'd I do that? I don't know. But anyway, I just want to know your opinion. Have you ever felt that you were just a dollar bill, or just a client, or just a patient, like just a number on somebody's chart? I don't know. Have somebody ever just made you feel that way? Or have you ever just like, um, I don't know. Have you ever just, I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever been in my position? Just you just felt like a number, right? No matter what it is, whether it's your health or business, or whether if you ever been in a courtroom for your lawyer, are you just a number? Are you just a dollar bill? If they win, you good. If they get their money anyway, if you lose, you got to pay them more, and they still get their money anyway. So do you just feel like a number? I guess. Y'all know me. I'm a pop-up person. I just felt the share to ask. But maybe it's just me. But y'all know me. Y'all know what I'd say at the very end. Come to God, because it's super important. It's the best thing that's best decision you're ever gonna make in your life. He won't let you down ever. Also, I'm not you. You are not me. But we can be real together. All right. So I will talk to y'all later. Get back on this clock, and we're gonna get it done together. All right. Bye.
We hope that you enjoyed this conversation. Remember to come to God. It's time. This will be the best decision you will make in your life. Also remember that I am not you, you are not me, but we can be real together. Come back and join in our conversation next week.